All right. I'm going to go ahead and call the regular meeting of the Syracuse Urban Renewal Agency to order. I will note that Councilor Pro Tem Hogan is in attendance on behalf of Council President Hudson, so thank you, Councilor, for joining, as well as myself and Commissioner Canizaro. So all three board members are present. I will note that proof of notice is listed on the second page of our packet. And we will move to our minutes from May 27th, 2025. So make our way back to those, which are separate stapled packet underneath the meeting packet. So let's see. Just want to make sure. Just give everybody a quick chance to flip through it, especially since this is Councilor Hogan's first meeting.
So I won't vote on this, approval of minutes.
Okay. All right, well then, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved?
I will second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. All right, next up, we will go to our new business, and we have two resolutions, so turn it over to Meg.
Thank you, Mayor. This first resolution, number 3469, is authorizing SURA to enter into an agency agreement with the Syracuse Housing Strategies Corporation to award financial assistance and administer the newly adopted Syracuse Housing Strategy Implementation Urban Renewal Plan. This is in connection with the funding agreement that SURA previously authorized to enter into with the city for the $2.5 million. So now those funds will be used for the Syracuse Housing Strategies Corporation to implement the new urban renewal plan. So, and the Housing Strategies Corporation will be acting as SURA's agent, so that's what necessitates this agreement. And right now, the Housing Strategies Corporation has one tier, if you will, of funding that they have dedicated the block grant program. So right now, the agency agreement will be specific to that, well, with the understanding that the $2.5 million would be used beyond that. It's not going to all be spent. I don't anticipate on just that portion of the programming. So this board will probably be considering extensions. But since that's all that the Housing Strategies Corporation has solidified so far,
Right.
I want to ensure that SURA, since the money will be flowing through SURA, has some oversight here to ensure that the funds will be used in accordance with the urban renewal plan.
Right. Okay. I know most of us were at the Housing Strategies Corporation meeting, but anything for public record that you want to summarize from that meeting as it relates to this agreement? I think we just acknowledged the need for both council for Housing Strategies Corporation and SURA to
Yes, which
sign off on the final language.
which as typical in the, I can add it to the resolution that right now it just says any terms. Actually, we can go to it just to make sure I'm quoting it directly. Going to be on page 3 of resolution number 3469, starting with now therefore be it resolved. Let's see. Fourth line down, subject to the approval of the agency's council as to terms, form, and execution.
Right.
We can also add in there, subject to approval by Syracuse Housing Strategies Corporation Council.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Good. All right.
Will that be noted with, like, as an amendment when we vote, or what?
Within the, I think we'll just make sure it's reflected in the motion.
So then when I draft the official resolution with, the votes, that will be reflected. I will add that in if that's what the motion is considering.
Okay. right, any other questions? Anything, Michelle, you want to add?
Michelle Spansky, Deputy Commissioner of Neighborhood Development. I think the only other thing that I would just kind of clarify is that within the terms of this does give us the ability to use some of that 2.5 million, not limited to the block challenge program, but also for some of those administrative expenses, so long as it is not resulting in the creation of any new positions that do not already exist, nor does it exceed $250,000. For things for the purposes of insurance and those types of items that were discussed at the Housing Strategies Corporation meeting. This does give us the ability to move forward with some of those in addition to the block challenge program implementation.
Right, okay, good. Any questions for Michelle or Meg? All right, so Meg, just for whoever's making the motion again, it will just share that the language will include. Can you just repeat it?
Sure, absolutely. Let me just go back.
Yep.
So it would be an approval of a funding or of the agency agreement, subject to approval of both the Syracuse Urban Renewal Agencies Council and Syracuse Housing Strategies Corporation Council,
Right.
as to terms, form, and execution.
Good. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll move.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Very good. Let's move on to the next resolution.
The next resolution, number 3470, this is just authorizing Commissioner Collins as SURA's contracting officer to execute an application for pro rata payment of taxes and a claim for payment on behalf of the Syracuse Urban Renewal Agency. If you will recall, the state a portion of SURA's property at 110 University Avenue. SURA received 11,000.
Oh, they took it through eminent domain.
Yes,
for the
yes,
81
as part of
project.
81,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
So SURA received some correspondence from the state on June 20th indicating that we're entitled to, it's $16.63, I believe. But they are asking SURA to execute these two forms, the claim for payment and the application for receipt of the tax payment. So I just wanted to bring this to the board just to give Commissioner Collins authority to execute those documents if the board is so inclined.
Okay, so again, to be clear, the state is compensating us for that property to the tune of $11,550. And again, the $16.63 is the pro rata share of the taxes paid on the property.
Yes, because the taking already occurred,
Right.
and we did receive the funds from the state. So, yep, this is just in addition to part of that taking.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved?
I'll second it.
Second.
Okay, second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any items for discussion?
One other item that just came about in the Syracuse Housing Strategies Corporation meeting was the subcontractor, because so SURA, in the agency agreement that I have the working draft of, would need to approve of the use of any subcontractors that the Housing Strategies Corporation would use. So since the Housing Strategies Corporation is going to be using home headquarters, I think now that the agency agreement has been authorized, it makes sense to for the board to consider authorizing the Housing Strategies Corporation to use home headquarters as a subcontractor for the block grant program.
Okay, so that makes sense. We don't have anything prepared for this meeting.
We do not, because I was not aware that
Right.
it was going to be considered.
Right, so is this something that we will want to make sure takes place before program launch?
I think if the SURA board feels that they want to authorize that, then yes, that is the case. I guess what I would ask a question of council would be, whether or not you are able to
Make a motion
approve
from
that
the
with
floor.
can you make a motion kind of at the table while we are here?
Yeah.
I'm happy to provide some information about the agreement that would be in place at the Housing Strategies Corporation just approved with home headquarters. So specifically, that was for an amount approximately in the amount of $70,000, not to exceed for the duration of the fiscal year, which is the amount that the Housing Strategies Corporation has authorized for the Block Challenge program. It's a one-to-one matching grant program that 50% contribution from homeowners up to $2,500 per property. Homeowners must participate as a group of 3. So individual applicants don't need to necessarily do the exact same scope of work, but we are trying to kind of strike a balance of getting some density of project completion. And then specifically the role that home headquarters will be paying is kind of on the back office administration, providing the direct reimbursements to participants. So neighborhood and business development will be handling everything kind of up to the point of people will handle all the application intake, we'll handle kind of sign off that projects have been completed according to the scope that was authorized. And then at that point, we will route those folks over to home headquarters just to complete kind of a reimbursement for their specific project funds. So.
Worth noting that the Housing Strategies Corporation waived competitive bid to enter into the agreement with home headquarters based on their unique experience administering this type of program.
Yep. Yeah, and the other thing that I would just add kind of for the purposes of the record, I think we're not necessarily looking that this would be a long-term arrangement moving forward for programming, but really just allows us the ability to be able to get something launched before the end of the year, which is something that has been kind of expressed as a priority for residents and also the respective board members. So.
When you reference the fiscal year that we're talking about, calendar year in
Yep,
the case
calendar,
of both the Housing Strategies Corporation.
Yeah,
Syrah?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm certainly comfortable with it. I think we discussed it thoroughly at the previous meeting as well. I think that's a pretty good summary, and it would save us another meeting if the board was comfortable with that, and then presumably, Meg, you would draft up a resolution and maybe could share that with the board after completion, just to make sure
Yes, of course.
it reads the way we expect it to. But if we're comfortable with it to keep things moving, would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. All right. So we'll look for that resolution. And anything else, Meg?
That's all I have for you today, Mayor.
All right. Good. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody. Okay.